Yo, what's going on, guys? Sam here. Today we got the official date for Apple's upcoming September event. I want to tell you guys about everything that we can expect to see, but before doing that, I want to show you Skin It, some really cool iPhone skins that I've been using lately, not only for your phone though, for your MacBook, for your iPad, for your AirPods. They have some of the coolest AirPods skins, or only AirPods skins that I've ever seen. And not only do they have designs like carbon fiber or a checkerboard. They have officially licensed skins from everybody like Marvel. Yeah, superhero stuff is on here. Disney, they have NHL, MLB, any sports team you can pretty much imagine, and it's all super high quality and very easy to install. On top of skins, Skin It also sells phone cases, and if there's no design that you like, you can just submit your own with a custom design. And when you guys use my link down below and use code iupdate30, you get 30% off your entire order. So you can buy skins for your phone, your AirPods, your MacBook, your gaming device, and literally everything else in between. So check them out. Make that boring design that you've gotten used to totally new again. So Apple's September event, it's a tradition at this point. It happens every single year, and it's something that you pretty much have to pay attention to if you care about Apple products or cool smartphones at all, because that's when the iPhone's coming out. And shocker, guys, you know, I've been thinking about it. Turns out the new iPhones are going to be released in September again this year. Not only do we have substantial evidence from every source who reports on the iPhone that that's happening, but today we saw a leaked screenshot from inside of iOS 13, courtesy of Apple blog iHelp VR. And this leaked screenshot shows the release date for the 2019 iPhones and everything else that Apple has been working on for the better part of a couple years. So let's zoom into the screenshot. At first, it looks really nice. Can we take a moment to appreciate the fact that there are no icon labels? At this point, I wish that was an option in settings to toggle them on or off because they're so distracting. But zooming in a little bit closer on the calendar icon, we can see a date. Now, normally this doesn't mean anything because when you screenshot something, it's just going to be the current date. But Apple actually picked a date set in the future. We're talking about Tuesday, September 10th. The title of this image even confirms it more so. It literally says before anything else, the actual title of the image, hold for release. We were not supposed to see this image before the iOS 13 Golden Master was released, and that's likely when it's coming out on Tuesday, September 10th, 2019. So can you guys wait that much longer to upgrade, or have you just bought an iPhone and you're bummed that a new one is literally just around the corner? I mean, that is less than a month from today. We're gonna have our hands, our eyes, I guess our ears on the 2019 iPhones. Now, we know the date. What can we expect to see at this September event? Well, kicking things off, obviously the star of the show is going to be the 2019 iPhones. Those are gonna be called iPhone Pro or iPhone 11 Pro. So if you wanna feel like a professional, just buy one of these higher end models. Now, starting with these, yes, the price tag here is gonna be pretty crazy, likely at $1,000 and $1,100 respectively here in the United States. Both are gonna have pretty much the same specs, and of course the takeaway here is the triple camera on the back. It's gonna have an ultra wide angle lens with a crazy wide field of view. I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's gonna be cool for photography, and Apple's working on some additional features in the camera app that would allow you to, like, in post, crop in an object or a person that was cut out of an initial photo taken with a standard angle lens. So there is some practical application here. The question is, you know, is a third camera enough for you to upgrade? And I feel like for most people, it's probably not. But Apple knows this, so they're not just adding a triple camera. There's also gonna be the A13 processor inside. Battery life on all three models, whether it's the 5.8, 6.1, or 6.5-inch model that's coming out this year, that is said to improve substantially, which is so good to hear. The Taptic engine inside said to see some upgrades because Apple is removing 3D Touch. Now, think about this one for a second. I actually have to back it from the camera because I'm still perplexed and frustrated by it, but a feature that has been here since the iPhone 6S, Apple's cutting that. It's just not going to be there on the 2019 iPhones. So that's why we have haptic touch in iOS 13 and now a reworked or upgraded version of the Taptic engine on the inside. Bilateral wireless charging is also coming to the 2019 iPhone. Again, I think this could be limited to the Pro model, the two higher end, more expensive ones, where you could set down your Apple Watch or AirPods or some other device and wirelessly charge them using the battery on your phone. That's another reason that we're pretty confident that the overall battery size in each model is going to be going up. Now, what about the smaller, or I should say lower end 6.1-inch iPhone that's not going to be called Pro? Well, that still has an LCD screen, still has rounded edges. We're hearing, according to Everything Apple Pro, that like the anti-aliasing could be improved just a little bit. That's getting an upgrade from 1 to 2 cameras on the back. Again, no, it's not like every other dual camera iPhone. They are throwing those babies in a square camera bump, so we're gonna have to get used to that somehow. This model, again, will probably remain the same in price, about $750 here in the US, and will have a lot of the same camera features as of the higher end models, just not everything. There are going to be those small differences between the low end iPhone this year and the high end models to obviously make you want to upgrade to the highest end model. Apple Pencil support has also been thrown around a little bit, which would likely again be restricted to the two highest end models, but everything else in between, Apple's done a pretty good job at keeping it under wraps. I really hope that they're keeping things under wraps, because at this rate, like, there's 4 or 5 minor upgrades, and I don't think that most people are gonna even bat an eye when they see this year's phones, except saying, oh wow, the camera bump is somehow uglier. Now, I've got a crazy theory here, but I think after Apple announces the iPhone 11, everybody in the audience is gonna be like, just a new iPhone, like, we knew everything about it. It genuinely wasn't that exciting. I mean, Apple's gonna put their special flair on it, but I'm not convinced that people are going to be blown away until they see what Apple's also been working on, which are AirPods Pro. Now, these are rumored to launch sometime this fall. They're gonna come in a black colorway, have improved bass response, maybe be more or actually waterproof, and also have a new matte finish similar to the Apple Pencil. So we're probably looking at a $249 to $299 price tag. That's just my personal guess and estimate for AirPods Pro or AirPods 3. But I think there definitely is room in the space for AirPods Pro, some just, I don't know, high-end, like total flex version of AirPods if you're not satisfied with the current white ones. Plus, Apple always starts out with a product in white, and then when they realize they've got people hooked, they'll come up with a new colorway just to make you want to upgrade it even that much more. And I'm not even going to front on you guys. If they come up with black AirPods, you know, I could put another skin on them and make it cool with Skin It. Again, check out my link down below. Or, you know, you could just enjoy the naked, beautiful black AirPods 3. Moving on from that, the Apple Watch Series 5. Now, this one's kind of puzzling because every year up until now, we've heard substantial news, rumors, leaks about this product. Pretty much nobody has said anything about this for the better part of 6 months now, which is a bit concerning. And I've read some articles, you know, people saying, well, does the Apple Watch Series 4 even need a successor? Does it need an upgrade this year? And I think it does, like a faster processor, anything inside. Better battery life is a huge killing point of the Apple Watch, because I have to charge it every single night, and especially with my cellular functionality enabled, the battery is down to 20 or 30%, sometimes even lower at the end of every day, even though I don't use it that much. So battery life, while it would be appreciated, isn't even confirmed for this year's model. And in fact, the only thing we've really heard is that the side button could be going solid state, so it means it won't move anymore, and they'll use a new haptic motor inside to give you feedback for when you interact with it, and maybe the digital crown could be tweaked as well. But aside from that, you know, Apple's got a lot of patents out there for new bands. They're working on smart bands for the watch. They're working on non-invasive glucose monitoring. We just don't think that anything like that is coming this year. And if we do see any upgrades, you know, if we see an upgrade at the September event after all, which I feel like we have to, considering how much the Apple Watch continues to grow quarter after quarter. It's dominating the entire smartwatch industry. And maybe Apple would announce a new Apple Watch in October or November at a second event later in 2019. So that's the state of the Apple Watch. We really don't know what's going on. Maybe Apple is just completely cracked down on leaks and a hugely revamped model is coming. Those are the two more concrete things that I'd say we're gonna hear something about at Apple's September event, but a new MacBook is also in the works. The question is whether or not Apple is preparing to announce it in September, a 16-inch redesigned Pro model, or wait until a second event in October. Many analysts are split pretty much right down the middle. Here's what we know about the model though. It is going to be a major upgrade, and it's going to fix pretty much every pain point for the MacBook Pro that professionals have been reporting to Apple for the better part of 3 or 4 years. While the body is going to be a very similar size to the 15-inch MacBook Pro now, the screen is getting upgraded to some version of like 16 inches. We don't know the exact 0.1 or 0.7 inch amount, but it is going to actually get a little bit bigger because Apple is slimming down the bezels even more on the MacBook Pro line to make the screen bigger in the same size of a MacBook 15-inch body. So that's gonna look incredible. I'm really hoping that we get rounded edges. These concepts for the MacBook Pro, if they end up coming true in any capacity, will, I think, change the way people look at the MacBook Pro forever. Next up, Apple is said to be going back to the scissor design keyboard. They are finally, after 3.5 years of it clearly not working, they're going back to a reliable keyboard design, because every MacBook Pro ever is now included in this recall program. Like you guys know, it's been a disaster with keyboards. We are long overdue for a good MacBook keyboard again so that people can actually type on them comfortably. The processor inside also going to be worthy of a hefty price tag, because you're going to be getting this MacBook Pro not at $1,000 or $2,000, because consider this, if it's an upgraded version of the 15.4-inch MacBook Pro that already exists, That model starts at $2399 here in the United States. We're hearing a price tag of at least $2,999, $3,000 for this MacBook Pro when it comes out. So here's to this new MacBook Pro, here's to Apple getting it right, and here's to having a working MacBook keyboard. Again though, we don't know if this MacBook is coming in September. Maybe Apple teases it in September and does a full reveal in October, but we do know that it is coming before the end of 2019 because that's what everybody in the rumor scene is saying. Apple's also working on a new version of the 9.7-inch iPad. It's getting upgraded to 10.2 inches, and it will apparently have slimmer bezels, look a little bit nicer, likely have support for the Apple Pencil again. Maybe Apple bumps it up to second generation Apple Pencil support, but it's a device that we still really don't know much about. It has been rumored for like the better part of 6 or 7 months now, and Apple is definitely going to release it this year. It's just, again, is it going to be in September or October? But if you are looking to buy the cheapest iPad that Apple makes, I'd recommend holding off a little bit, waiting just a little bit longer because Apple's probably going to update it in less than 2 months. Holistically, what we're expecting is a pretty large Apple event in September, happening on Tuesday, September 10th, 2019, the same day that I believe the iOS 13 Golden Master final pre-public version is going to be coming out. 3 new iPhone models, a new version of AirPods, a new 10.2-inch iPad potentially, and also a new 16-inch MacBook Pro. Those two are like, could go either way, but I really do think that the AirPods, the iPhone, those are definites for the event, and also probably the Apple Watch Series 5. If you enjoyed watching, if you found the video useful, drop a like down below. It seriously helps me and the channel out, and hit subscribe so you guys are always up to date on the latest Apple news. I've been Sam. I hope you're doing fantastic. I'll catch you all in my next video.